It's Mr. Soft-Hands album review show. Thanks for tuning in. Today's album that I will be reviewing is a band called Allegaeon out of Colorado. I call them Allegaeon. It rolls off the tongue a lot better. But the name of the album is Formshifter. It's got 10 tracks on it. It's amazing. I love this album. I've been bumping it every day for about 8 days now. And I'm talking every day. I listen to it in my headphones, in my car. It's a really, really great album. I haven't been able to put it down. Track number 1 opens up God I Am. It feels like you're going into battle. Just the way it starts is amazing. Like I said, you feel like you're going to war or you're going to fight. I guess this is a song you would listen to before you fight. I'm not a fighter. I don't fight. It's just I don't do that. But I do own a tap out shirt, so I guess I can fight. This track, God I Am, is brutal. It's progressive. It's Black Dahlia Murder meets Dream Theater. That's kind of what this whole album is about. Every track is very progressive and the vocals are just refined. They sound a lot better than the last album, even though the last album the vocals weren't bad. I really enjoyed the vocals, but this album they bring it. I think it's the new studio that they recorded in. That would be my best guess. Maybe they're just using a different mic, or maybe the engineer is doing something different to the vocals that's never been done before. I know. I'm pretty sure his name was Daniel Castleman, who was the engineer on this album, and from what I hear, he is a great engineer. He's done a lot of the Metal Blade artists. I've heard nothing but great things about him, and this album sounds really, really good, so hats off to you, Mr. Castleman. The next track 2, is Tartessos. We've all heard this one if you're an Allegaeon fan. They posted this on their page about 2 weeks ago. That's just a little taste. That's like dipping your foot in the river just to see how cold it is. Oh. Whew. Next is one of my favorite songs on the album. It's called A Path Disclosed. It is progressive. I know I keep saying progressive. I am a prog guy. My favorite band is Dream Theater. I'm a very progressive type of guy, and this album is that, very progressive. I was riding in my car the first time I heard it, and I literally pooped my pants. I'm not proud of it. It's not the first time that I pooped my pants as an adult. We'll just leave that alone. Song, A Path Disclosed. The song is dirty. This face. The whole song. I don't need to say anything else about that song. Track 4 was released this morning. How about that? It was released on their page as 12, but it was actually Iconic Images. I guess there was a little mix-up. I don't know what happened. Mistakes happen. Whatever. This was the first track that I was like, wow. Allegaeon has a new drummer. Not that I'm saying that it's his best performance on this album, but it was just a different sound. It sounded deeper. It sounded heavy. It was fast. It was everything that us metalheads want in a drummer. It was just my first realization that Allegaeon had a new drummer. Track 5 is 12. It's an awesome track. I read that it's about serial killers, and it's going to be a pit spinner. It's a great song. Following 12 is the new vowels. It's awesome. I told Greg that it sounds like the guitarist singing. It's a little weird, but you'll know what I'm saying. It's beautiful. It's just, I love it. Nothing to change. It's wonderful. Tracks 6, 7, 8, and 9 are awesome. Each one of these tracks bring it. It's heavy, it's fast, it's progressive. I can't stress that enough. If you like heavy, progressive music, you buy this album and you listen to this album. I guarantee you that you are gonna love it. Not that my guarantee is worth anything. Anyway, track 10 is my favorite track on the album. Track 10 is named Secrets of the Sequence. I cannot get enough of this song. It is this album's accelerated evolution. If you know from the previous album, Accelerated Evolution, everybody's just crazy over it. It's progressive, it's nasty, it's dirty. This Secrets of the Sequence blows Accelerated Evolution out of the water, in my opinion. I'm not saying Accelerated Evolution is bad. I asked the guys a few questions about the album. 5 questions. I sent it to each and every one of the band members. 2 replied, but whatever. They have better time or better things to do with their time than book face me. So Greg and Corey were kind enough to answer my stupid questions. I'm not a professional, so cut me some slack. The first question I asked them, which track stands out to you as your favorite? Corey loves From Stars Death Came. He loves the harmonies and the melodies of the song. He's right. It's hard for me to just say that I like this track, and this track, because I love all of them. It's an album that you can sit in your car or sit at home and listen to the whole album and love it. Get lost in it. You can come back to this album. It's not one of those metal albums where you're like, wow, this hits pretty hard and I like this track and this track, but the rest just all sounds the same. No, each track is very dynamic and separate, but meshes well as a whole, if that makes sense. Greg said that compositionally, Greg's Mr. Musician guy, so compositionally, Secrets of the Sequence and A Path Disclosed were the greatest challenges for me, therefore will always be my favorite from a writer's standpoint. Greg's a smart guy. Greg's a guitarist. Greg has beautiful hair. And he wears those little things on his wrist to sweat. I don't know what they're for. Probably for sweat, but Greg, what are the wristbands for? To look cool? Playing hockey? Okay. Question number two. I asked the guys, what bands or artists influence them as an artist. Greg, Megadeth and Dream Theater, which, can you argue with that? No. Two of the greatest bands in the world. I love both bands. And it's nice to see other artists that are so passionate about their music and they're also fans of these huge bands. It's just a great feeling. Question number 4. If you could pick one drummer to be the new drummer of Allegaeon, who would it be and why? They still need a drummer. JP filled in for this album. I wish he could be the full-time drummer, but he lives on the East Coast and they're on the West-ish coast, so that isn't working out. Corey said just as long as the drummer is passionate about drumming, he's reliable, and he wants to commit to what the band wants to do, he doesn't care who it is. Plain and simple. Greg, on the other hand, he shot for the stars. He did mention they loved working with JP. Rightfully so. Once you hear, you've heard 2 tracks from the new album. They're awesome. So they can't have JP. So Greg says, Marco Meneman. Hey Marco, I'm calling you out. Go drum for these guys for a little while. See what you can do. I don't think you can drum for them. Challenge. All in all, drummers, you need to get your videos together. They want you to do across the folded line, I'm pretty sure. Because if Allegaeon doesn't have a drummer, then they're not going out on tour, I imagine. So, plus it'd be pretty cool to be in a heavy metal band. I would think. Then I asked a question for the guitarist. I'm not a guitarist, but I know how you guys think. I asked the guitar work, first off, is amazing on this album. It was last album as well, but it blows you away. I asked which songs have the most difficult solos to play. Greg said that his second solo in Tartessos is the hardest solo of his ever, he said. It's so fast, and it's definitely one of those grip it and rip it leads. Ooh. I love when Greg talks dirty. Grip it and rip it. Next, I have some requests. Greg, I would like to hear Vowels live. I think everybody would. It'd be a great break of the chaos and brutalness of the live show for you to just sit on a freshly whittled chair, kick your feet up, let me put your hair in a ponytail, and you just play Vowels. Do it. Thank you. Since the show is called Mr.Soft-Hands, I give a rating of 1 through 5 soft hands. 5 being the greatest, being that I love it, absolutely cannot stop listening to the album, and 1 being the poop album that I can't even listen to. With this album, I would give it a solid 5. I love it. I love this album. You will too. If you love metal and you like metal done right and with passion, buy this album. It is worth every cent. Thanks for tuning in to Mr. Soft-Hands album review show. Let me leave you with a couple more albums that I am currently listening to that are worth mentioning. The first one is a band called Across the Sun. The album is Before the Night Takes Us. The album that I'm really digging right now is Machine Head, Unto the Locust.